So the uMkhonto weSizwe party just appointed a chief whip who is accused of fraud and extortion. In this video, I'm going to show you all the goings on that have been going on there. But if you stay with me all the way till my biblical reaction, you will also understand why people vote the way they vote in South Africa. And it's not what most people say. But this will be very helpful because I still insist that South Africa will prosper. You ready? Press like and let's go. Let's start here. This is the new MKP chief whip responding to Ramaphosa's speech.
We basically went through, I think, almost 2 hours of hell, listening to a recycled speech over and over again. It's been nothing short of a disappointment. I mean, we have him holding and securing the Minister of Police, who by now should have been fired, and he's asking the same communities to feel safe in this country. It's impossible.
So that's the new chief whip, Mabato Mkwena Zondi. But before I tell you more about her, let's take a few steps back. So towards the end of October, President Zuma appointed Tony Yengeni, the ANC veteran who went to prison for corruption and then came back and was an MP for the ANC. He made him the second deputy president.
A very serious and well-known comrade. We have therefore added another leader, and therefore we are strengthening our work of our party. That comrade of ours who's going to join us at the leadership, the top leadership, is Tony Yengeni.
Come up, my brother, and join us. So end of October, Tony Yengeni became the second deputy president. Well, who was the deputy president? Well, impeached Judge President John Hlophe was the deputy president. This is him in an interview a day before he was suspended pending an investigation. The investigation was supposed to be finished in January. It's still not complete. This is what he said the day before he knew that he was about to be stripped of his title.
So after the ruling that President Zuma cannot go to parliament and lead his own party, right, he had to look for someone.
Yes.
And he gave me a call one day and said, look, I'm coming to Cape Town. I must see you. This was now after, I think a week after.
After the election.
After the election, because he could not go to parliament and lead the party. By that time, I am without a job because I was fired in February 2024. Then President Zuma tells me, Mfowethu, I would like, I'm coming to Cape Town.
My brother, I'd like to see you. Let's meet in Cape Town.
I went to the hotel. I met with him. He says to me, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to lead uMkhonto weSizwe in parliament.
In parliament.
I had no experience in parliament. I asked him one question indeed. Have you tried other people? He told me, yes, he has tried, but I don't want to give you the names of those people. And then later on, he reflected and said, not this one.
No.
But I was only too happy to learn that he appointed me on merit because he believed that I was the right person for the job. As I have said before, some of the people that I mentioned earlier were in fact senior people within the ANC, myself included.
Well, the next day he got a letter from President Jacob Zuma saying you are suspended pending an inquiry because you took some decisions without talking to me while I was out of the country. But then last month, when his inquiry was supposed to already be finished, the party placed Brian Molefe as Treasurer General. Brian Molefe is in this video up here.
Colleen Makubela has been removed as the uMkhonto weSizwe party's chief whip in Parliament. Mabato Mkwena Zondi is now the caretaker chief whip. The party also announced Brian Molefe as the MKP's Treasurer General. This was all issued in a statement dated today by the MKP, saying that the party has resolved to relieve B.I.K. Limba of his duties as Treasurer General, then appointing Brian Molefe as the new Treasurer General of the MKP. Also there that Colleen Makubela has been removed of her duties as Chief Whip with immediate effect.
Now, 8 days ago, President Jacob Zuma made another quite odd announcement.
Zuma unveiled an 11-member presidential task team to advise him. It's led by former ANC uMzumbe Municipality Speaker Sibonelo Maphumulo, who was expelled from the party and later joined the MKP and became its first councillor at local government level. Zuma stressed that the move wasn't a sign of challenges in his leadership, but it's aimed at strengthening the party.
So it is important that I have a team that can be on the job all the time, helping me so that we are not lagging behind.
However, the inclusion of Zuma's son, Duduzane, in the task team does not help to quell concerns about nepotism in some quarters. He's the second child of the 83-year-old to get a prominent position in the party in nearly 3 months. In December, Zuma's daughter, Brumelda, replaced Duduzane's twin sister, Duduzile, as the MKP Member of Parliament. Duduzile resigned as an MP and from her duties in the party after allegations of her involvement in the recruitment of 17 men to fight for Russia in Ukraine. Now all eyes are on the replacement of Brian Molefe, the former Eskom CEO who resigned as MKP Member of Parliament. The party said Molefe will focus on his position as treasurer. To critics, the musical chairs could signal instability ahead of the local government elections.
So President Zuma has a leadership team of 10 people with a treasurer general, deputy president and all of that. But now he has set up a new structure, 11 people whom he says are his eyes and ears and feet, who just report to him, and they have a constitution which they call a charter, which they will in due course show to the current national structure. So you literally have 2 current national structures with Zuma presiding over both of them. But the new structure has his son, the capitalist Duduzane, as a member of that structure. And this is how the spokesperson explains it.
You have an 11-person presidential task team, while you have a 10-person a leadership team for the party. How do we ensure, and how do you ensure that that doesn't get conflated, where one assumes the other? And shouldn't the responsibilities of that part of those leaders as well, from the high command downwards to yourself, for example, isn't that supposed to also be part of the whole conversation, to say we are aiding the leader of the party in ensuring that the messaging, and anytime he cannot attend certain things, you're able to take part in this?
Yeah, you see, Arabile, you can't deal with unconventional situations such as uMkhonto weSizwe party, because uMkhonto weSizwe party in itself is an enigma. It's unheard of. It's never been seen. Anything of this kind of a nature in a project has never been seen before. So you can't use conventional ways of dealing with unconventional. As you would have heard, which was mentioned by the chairperson of the presidential task team, is that there's going to be a presidential task team charter, which in effect is being drafted, and of course, naturally, that charter will take into consideration, of course, the leadership, the structure, the constitution, which we're obviously undergoing also a constitutional review as an organization. And all these initiatives are aimed at strengthening the party.
Is that not putting the cart before the horse, though? Because should the charter have not come before the actual task team itself?
No, it's not putting the cart before the horse here. This charter exists
Yeah.
Okay. It's a matter of how do you now integrate it into the broader perspective in light of their terms of reference. Remember,
He said the charter is being drafted, but the charter exists. This is how President Zuma explained it.
They are going to be playing very important role in terms of helping and adding to what we say. As I said, for an example, I might be here in Durban, I might be in Johannesburg, I might be in Cape Town, I might be everywhere. So it is important that I have a team that can be on the job all the time, helping me so that we are not lagging behind. That's what we wanted to make known, so that we shouldn't say, who are these guys, where do they come from? For an example, people who come to me in Gandla in big numbers. They come to me to talk to me, to ask, what is this, what is that? Alone, I can't handle that. I need a committee that must be able to deal with that. If there was an issue in any place or whatever, they are there. It's as simple and clear as it is. There's nothing hidden about it. I will be working with them. They will be reporting to me. I will therefore know what is happening. If I get a message that there's something at a particular place, I'm able to say, please reach there, correct this. Doing it because it is clear to me, if you see the number of people who come to Nganza, that there are so many people, we can meet them halfway and discuss the issues, deal with the issues, be able to deal with every other thing. It's as simple as that, my good sister.
But 2 days ago, the new chief whip of the MKP was sworn in, even though she's facing extortion and fraud charges that are being investigated by the police station. So first of all, there was a party disciplinary process that recommended that she be kicked out, and there's a year-long police investigation that has been confirmed. What was the fraud and extortion case about? Well, one staff member testified that they paid 63,500 after being instructed to surrender a portion of her salary. A second staff member allegedly paid 50,000 to an account named Mabato Brown, which is Mabato Mukwena Zondi's former surname. And a third staff member made payments totaling 37,000, including transfers to a certain bank account. Now, the panel found no evidence that senior party leadership, including Jacob Zuma, was aware of or profited from this money. And the report said that she was found guilty on all 12 charges and recommended that she be expelled from the party because of this money. But she is now the chief whip. So the MK party is never a silent, quiet, normal party. As the spokesperson said, it's an enigma. And what are people saying on the street? Many people support it. They say, yes, he is probably just trying to set up Duduzane Zuma to take over leadership from him. And he is probably undermining the actual national structure. But Baba knows best, and we support him, and we are glad. And even if Duduzane takes over, we are fine with it. We will support Ubaba, and we go for it. My biblical reaction. In Matthew 9, when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion for them because they were weary or harassed and scattered like sheep having no shepherd. You know, most people take a really hard stance on people who vote for the MKP, and sometimes they talk like, are you so stupid that you can't see there are no jobs? Are you so dumb to not see they just steal money? Why are you voting for these people? But I want to say something quickly. See, when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion for them, not because they were hungry, not because they didn't have jobs, but because they were like sheep having no shepherd. You know, people don't vote because they're dumb. They do it because they're human. And humans have a strange thing. Before humans need a job, before they need work, before they need to even have water or electricity, they want to have a shepherd. A shepherd represents someone who gives them an identity and gives them hope. Now, what has automatically happened with the Marxist message is that it says, you are black, therefore I identify you, I represent you. And they are white, and there's apartheid, and we're going to fight for it. We're going to take land, we're going to take mines, we're going to give it to you. We're going to do BEE, we're going to give it to you. And even when people see that it never comes to them, see, until someone offers a shepherd, and a shepherd is one who gives you hope, identity, and direction. Until people find that, they would rather have a bad shepherd than a great non-shepherd. Because before people need jobs, before they need money, before they need a better life, they need an identity, they need hope. And sometimes politicians learn how to play this, because when people are stressed and they hear empty promises, but that go with, I'm your shepherd, people will still keep supporting these parties. And so, I think we do much better if we had a little more grace. And I think the other parties, especially builder parties, could do well by learning how to be shepherds. Got nothing to do with skin color, but it has to do with being able to be a shepherd. Give hope, give a vision, give an identity, and give a future that people can then follow that shepherd, and they will keep following. And that's why I hope that number one, you subscribed, number two, that you've downloaded my book and you're going to spread it far and wide, and you keep coming with us, because what we're doing is helping people to pick a better shepherd, rather than ignoring that people want someone to follow. And when they have no one to follow, they'll pick the one that resonates the most as a shepherd. He felt sorry because they were weary and scattered like sheep having no shepherd. So let's go together and let's win this battle, because we will. Because South Africa will prosper in the end. No man can serve two masters. Either love the one and hate the other, or he'll despise the one and honor the other. You can't serve God and Karl Marx. Comment below and let me hear if this made sense or your thoughts. See you on the next video.